Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody. Hope all is well at your end and you're enjoying with your family. Uh, in the name of Lord, ever benevolent and ever sustainer, we talked about leadership, leadership qualities, some theories of leadership, roles of leadership, transactional and transformation leadership, charismatic leadership, and we also studied some issues that are facing in 21st century. Today we will also be studying another part of the last week lecture on the series, the contemporary issues in leadership. Leadership is nothing but the way to influence employees and motivate them so that the desired actions can be drawn, can be achieved. It is an influencing activity, and influencing should be, of course, towards achieving a certain goal. As I told you that we studied some theories, so today we will be discussing the contemporary issues affecting leadership, uh, and how leadership affect uh, in this 21st century. So the issues, major issues, can be drawn. I have put these five issues, and then another seven big challenges from a very authentic research paper I extracted, and in the coming slides we will study that. But some 21st century issues that will affect the leader and leadership are how to manage power in the organization, how to develop trust, how to empower employees, how leading cross cultures can affect the leadership, and how to become an effective leader. So these are the five major issues that we will discuss one by one in detail. The first thing is managing power. What is power, or rather, how can a leader manage power so that he can be an effective leader in today's competitive environment? So, power is nothing but the right or the capacity to uh, influence work or actions and decisions taken by employees or subordinates. Power is of different types. It can be legitimate, they can be coercive, they can be reward, they can be expert, they can be referent. There are five major types of power. In the coming chapter, in the next week, we will study the detailed power, but we will just see a glance at in this. So, what is legitimate power? Legitimate power is the power which has gotten by virtue, by the position or the portfolio the person has. So, as a boss, or as the owner of a firm, or the leader of an organization, has certain powers of controlling, giving orders, punishing, and as well as to reward the subordinates. So, legitimate power is the position or the virtue of the position or the portfolio that you have the responsibility, you have a legal authority, you have legal power. So this is called legal power. Legitimate power means legal power. Now, second is coercive power. Coercive power means the power by which he or she has the capacity to punish or control the subordinate in a proper, disciplined manner. It means there should not be bullying, but mashi nabosha, zor nabosha, but the power or the control that he is doing should be in a disciplined manner, should be in a legal manner. Thirdly, a reward power is the power to give a positive uh, side of power, wherein you are delivering the benefits for the positive efforts or for the positive works. You are rewarding, you are giving in return what has positively been achieved. Uh, Next is expert power. Expert power is nothing but if a leader has skills because of his knowledge and expertise, then he or she is being referred or liked by his employees. So such kind of power is called expert power. Expert means there are skills in him, there are expertises in him. Um, he has knowledge about his activities. Uh, Lastly, a referent power refers to a power which arises because of the personality he or she is having, and he is referred by subordinates or colleagues because of the virtues of his personal traits, uh, resources, money, and other characteristics that he has. So these were the five types of leadership, power. Now, the second issue that arises in leadership is developing trust, which is very much important in coping up leadership skill, is to develop trust. Now, trust is the belief of the followers in the leaders. Trust is the belief of the followers in the leader, or vice versa, the belief of the leader in the employees. So this needs the credibility of a leader, which comes by virtues of his honesty, competence, and his or her inspiring skills. Trust has different dimensions. In the last lecture yesterday, we talked about it, that there are four dimensions of trust, and that are integrity, competence, consistency, loyalty. It comes with how competitive you are, how consistent you are performing, how loyal or open you are. If there is trust and credibility of the leader in the minds of the employees or the subordinates, then we can get better job performance. We can expect, of course, the better job performance. People in the organization will behave like citizens with good behavior, and there will be better job satisfaction and organizational commitment in the employees and subordinates. How, how to build trust? So, as I told you that trust building is not an easy job, because humans are by nature and by default very suspicious in nature. They don't trust anyone so very easily. If they don't know a person, they will not trust so easily. They cannot trust anyone, and by nature they are suspicious. They are doubtful on every one and every activity or he or she is doing. So to develop trust, you should be very fair leader, in the sense you shouldn't take biased decisions, you shouldn't go partially. There should be a friendly atmosphere, the boss and with the boss, or among the boss and subordinates. They should be able to speak out their feelings. The subordinates should express their feelings. uh, Always be honest, that is to tell the truth. The behaviors of the leader should be very consistent. If your behavior is haphazard, it means that sometimes you are very short tempered and sometimes you are very cool. In that case, people will be afraid towards a leader. Then the next thing is, a leader shouldn't make false promises. If you can't fulfill a promise, better not to do that promise. Better not to tell them that I will do this for you, and I will have this for you, and blah blah blah. No, don't make the false promises. Don't do what you can't do for them. Uh, Other building stress skills can be the openness, speaking out, be fair, and try to demonstrate your competence, the skills, boost confidence your employees, and there will be uh, and trustworthy environment, and thereby the subordinates or the employees will be happily enjoying with you, and whatever the leader say, whatever you say, without questioning, they will accept it. Uh, Next is how to empower. The next challenge for a leader is how to empower employees. Um, Empower employees, or rather, why should we empower employees? Empower means increase the decision making ability in the worker by showing him trust and helping him to operate and make decisions like operating decisions, controlling decisions, quality management, and so on and so forth. So, why uh, we have to make empower employees? So when you are making your employees part of big decisions or maybe small decisions, there is an increased sense of increased motivation and confidence in the employees. A kind of confidence, self-confidence comes in the employees, and they are motivated by default when you are giving them the chance to be in the decision-making process. May that be a small decision, or may that be a very big decision. So empowering employees mean that you take advice from him. You and everything you take advice from him. You tell them to have suggestion for you. This is called empowerment, and it is one of the best part in motivation. When you empower your employees, there will be innovative ideas. They will express the feelings, the hidden knowledge or skills that they will have. They will express to you, which will of course affect positively in their performance and in their satisfaction, job satisfaction. So, why empower employees? Why is it necessary to empower employees? When employees are shown trust and confidence, they become very cautious and learn their skills and develop the skills in a better way. Thereby, the overall performance of the hidden talent, the hidden skills of the employees can be used in a very better way. The fourth challenge for a leader is cross-culture leadership. Uh, to be an effective leader, some qualities are required. That is, um, of course, visionary, foresight, provide encouragement, have positive attitude, should be trustworthy, should be flexible, and should be proactive rather than reactive. The next issue is uh, I think we have cross culture. Okay, uh, um, these traits that we studied are not present in all cultures, and they are not used in all cultures. People from different cultures have a different way of behaving. For example, the Arab leaders do not respect those who are humble, who are compassionate, or rather, Arab subordinates don't like people who are soft and friendly. They term them as weak leaders when they are compassionate, when they are humble, when they are using soft and friendly behavior. So, on the contrary, Japanese people are accepted to be more compassionate and speak frequently. So, cultures matter, and the leader should be behaving according to the culture that he or she is living. The fifth issue is gender differentiations. Uh, Similarly, gender also plays an important role in the style of leadership they adopt. So, research has proved that females are more democratic and they adopt participative leadership. Men are very transactional and they are autocratic. Uh, there are certain situations where leader are uh, acting, and men tend to be very transactional, and female are very transformational. We studied transformational and transactional leadership before in the last lecture. Substitute for leaders. There are certain circumstances where leaders are more or less important. Sometimes there is no need for a leader. So there are three cases where there is no need for leader, and there are three cases, and they are follower characteristics, job characteristics, organizational characteristics. Uh, Such situation arise because of these characteristics. If the follower or the subordinate is well experienced, he's trained or she's trained with expert skills, he's or she's workaholic, then in such situations they don't need a leader to motivate them. If they are experienced, if they are trained, if they are professional, if they are having expertise, and they are workaholic, so what is the need of a leader for them in there? Similarly, if the job or the work is simple, it is routine, and or it is the job is of more satisfaction, or it's more satisfying, in such a case leaders are very less important. And thirdly and lastly, if organizations have cohesive, united work teams, and they have suitable SOPs or rules and regulation, in this case they also don't need a person to control. So in a nutshell, if there is a lack of effective leaders, the followers can substitute at the place of a leader. So these were the five different characteristic issues that we discussed. Now we will also study some 7 great challenges for the leaders of tomorrow. These were taken from a very authentic research. Uh, the great challenges of tomorrow, including and acquiring, developing certain range of skills and abilities. It's fairly obvious that we are living in a constantly changing world, in a dynamic world. This complexity also affects the business environment, which never stops evolving. Organization in the 21st century have a need of leaders capable of adapting to these changes. He or she should be able to keep the ship afloat despite all those continuous changes, of course. So the most 7 important challenges can be awareness of leadership, constant innovation, collective intelligence, empathy, metamorphosis, leading the change, emotional intelligence and soft skills, and lastly, connectivity. Awareness. uh, in recent years, leadership has caught the attention of experts, sociologists, and managers of big companies. Nearly all of them agree on the positive effects that good leaders have had on the efficiency of organization. Without awareness of leadership, it is and it will be much more difficult to achieve any success at all. The organizations of the future will require that leaders be trained to be leaders. That is, people who are really and actually prepared to lead. The real challenge is to develop those personal skills consciously, which is leading the change, innovation, and creativity, working in a team, and having the ability to apply knowledge to decision making and communication skills. So the leader of tomorrow will know they are one. They will stop to have a new look at their goals before going after them, and they will count on uh, their team. They rely on the team, and they are surrounded by the most capable people to achieve the goal. In short, we can say the challenge will be to watch and develop leadership. The second most challenge for the leader and the leadership is constant innovation. Innovation is, of course, a key in the success of any business. It becomes DNA for the organization. So the demands in the competitive faced by any company, whether in the present or in the future, are very big. We are living in an unpredictable environment, and that requires quick reactions to those changes. So the good news is that we are living in a scenario which is favorable to encouraging creativity. People encourage creativity with an increasing accessibility and many tools to motivate innovation with. Leading requires giving great importance to innovation in any field of the organization and of the life, and understanding that the real risk lies in not innovating. Leaders will effectively get everyone in the organization, from executives to employees, involved in developing an environment of innovation where creativity is rewarded. Thirdly, the third most effective challenge or big challenge for the organization and leadership is collective intelligence. Nowadays, most organizations are based on vertical structures where not everyone can cooperate in the same way. The trend is to gradually implement a more horizontal model based on collaboration. With the development of new information technologies, especially on the internet, collective intelligence will become stronger and stronger. The leadership of tomorrow will become increasingly aimed towards the enhancement of collective intelligence. It will be in the leader's hands to prevent the group team from being just a mass, and on the contrary, to make it behave efficiently and intelligently. So, more people will be involved in the decision making processes, and leader will, of course, uh, encourage change. Uh, the fourth most effective and most challenging leadership is metamorphosis, which means the leading the change. Metamorphosis means a striking change in appearance or character or circumstance. Metamorphosis means a striking change, a heavy change in someone's appearance, in someone's character, or maybe in a circumstance or in the situation. Uh, the the functions of planning, analyzing, and controlling done by the leader uh, in the group have traditionally been given great importance in the past, but because of the ongoing change that we are having, the responsibilities will become less and less indispensable, as the leader cannot effectively control such an unpredictable environment. Therefore, the ability to adopt to change will become increasingly valuable, and successful leadership will be supported by the ability of transformation. Moreover, we can say that leaders will move with more frequency between different cultures and business models, so they will need to show flexibility and adaptability. The leader of the future is intended to be the driving force for change. He's, of course, uh, the one who is known for the change. The fifth challenge for the leadership is emotional intelligence and soft skills. Social skills or soft skills will be regarded as a matter of fact that they are already one of the most demanded types of skills in organizations. These skills are the ones that need to persuade, influence, convince for achieving the other's goals. Leadership will categorically require these skills, and their mastering will result in a great asset for the organization. The leader of the 21st century must stand as a social influencer in the organization and in the environment. One of the top priorities of the company of the 21st century nowadays is to understand and watch the communication process within and outside the organization. Uh, the second last big challenge for the for the leader of tomorrow is connectivity. Since we are living in the age of communication, in the era of communication, the connection between companies, institutions, and individuals will keep growing, and it will be on and on. So the use of technological devices such as internet, social media, audiovisual products, and other has a positive effect on the productivity and also on the job satisfaction. Leadership will make use of these connections to uh, improve production processes and gain competitive edge. Uh, the ability to stay connected will be uh, central to the survival of the organization. To be in the market, we should be connected with people, organization, individuals, and of course for the optimization of the business that we are doing. Nowadays, social networking or social media is becoming part of the DNA of any company, any organization. Uh, the last is empathy. Uh, One thing that we should remember in connectivity, leaders of tomorrow will need to ensure this connectivity to guarantee immediate access to their teams at any time, at anywhere, and they should always assure the proper safety and integration uh, needed for it to be truly efficient. So, lastly, empathy or sympathy. Empathy means hamdardi or sympathy. Uh, in order to share a viewpoint and try to achieve a common goal, successful leaders should appeal to emotions and become a source of motivation. The leader of the future must be a mentor or a mentor. One of the greatest challenges of tomorrow, of course, is to train leaders who can build up trust and show sympathy or empathy toward others. Uh, Maybe that is inside and outside of their own organization. To that purpose, it will be necessary to show respect to others, as well as empathy and the defense of those ideals which have previously achieved group identification. So, this was all about the contemporary issues in the organization. Uh, if you have got any type of questions or you have suggestions, please let me know. Leave me a WhatsApp message or comment on the video in the LMS. I hope you have enjoyed it, this lecture, and see you soon. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.